The interview is almost over. The interviewer leans back and says, "So, do you have any questions for me?" And this exact moment is where you either win the job or lose it. Most people freeze. Most people say the wrong thing. In the next few minutes, I'll give you 7 questions you can ask that make you sound confident, prepared, and genuinely impressive, even if English is not your first language. Let's get into it. Here's the mistake almost every non-native speaker makes. When the interviewer asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" they say, "No, I think you answered everything." Or worse, "No, I have no questions." And I understand why. You're tired. Your brain has been working in a second language for 45 minutes. You just want it to be over. But here's what the interviewer hears when you say, "No questions." This person isn't that interested. This person didn't prepare. This person doesn't really care about this specific job. Saying no questions is not neutral. It actually counts against you. The end of the interview is not the cool down. It's the final impression. It's the part they remember. Good news. With 3 or 4 strong questions ready, you turn that awkward moment into your strongest moment. Let me show you how it sounds. Let's listen to a realistic situation. This is the very end of an interview for a marketing role. We have the recruiter, her name is Sarah, and the candidate, David. Listen for the questions David asks.
Well, David, I think that covers everything from my side. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, actually, a few. Thank you. I'd love to understand what success looks like in this role in the first 90 days. If you hired someone great, what would they have achieved by then?
That's a great question. Honestly, in the first 90 days, we'd want them to fully own the email campaigns and start showing measurable results on open rates.
That's really helpful, thank you. And can you tell me a bit about the team I'd be working with day to day?
Sure, you'd be part of a team of 5, reporting directly to me, and working closely with the design team.
Great. I'm also curious, how would you describe the culture here in your own words?
I'd say we're fast paced but supportive. People help each other, but we move quickly.
That sounds like a good fit for how I like to work. One more, if that's okay. Are there any concerns you have about my profile that I could address right now?
Wow, that's a confident question. No, honestly, nothing major. Your experience lines up well.
That's good to hear. And finally, what are the next steps in the process? And when can I expect to hear back?
We'll make a decision by the end of next week, and I'll be in touch either way.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time today, Sarah. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Perfect. Now let's break down the phrases. Because David just did 5 things that quietly moved him to the top of the list. I'm going to pull out the best questions from that dialogue. Say them out loud with me. That's how they'll stick. Question 1. What does success look like in this role in the first 90 days? This is a power question. It signals you're not thinking about getting the job, you're already thinking about doing the job well. Interviewers love it because it shows ambition and focus. The first 90 days is a natural business expression for the early period in a new job. You can also say the first 3 months. Question 2. Can you tell me a bit about the team I'd be working with day to day? Can you tell me a bit about is a soft, polite way to open any question. Day to day means the normal, everyday reality of the job. And notice the team I'd be working with, that I'd quietly places you inside the role already. Question 3. How would you describe the culture here in your own words? The magic phrase is in your own words. Anyone can read the website. By asking for her personal view, you get an honest answer and make the conversation human. How would you describe is softer and more open than what is the culture like? Question 4, the brave one. Are there any concerns you have about my profile that I could address right now? Did you hear the recruiter's reaction? Impressed. This shows you're not afraid of feedback and gives you one last chance to fix any doubt before you leave. My profile means your overall background. If concerns feels too strong, soften it. Is there anything about my experience you'd like me to clarify? Question 5. What are the next steps in the process and when can I expect to hear back? Always ask this. The next steps is standard business English. When can I expect to hear back? Politely asks for a timeline without sounding impatient. And it tells you when to follow up. And 2 connectors that made David sound natural. Yes, actually, a few, thank you. That actually makes you sound genuine, not memorized. And 1 more, if that's okay. Lets you ask something direct while staying polite. 3 mistakes to avoid, because how you ask matters as much as what you ask. Mistake 1. Asking only about salary, holidays, and benefits. These matter, and there's a right time. But if your first and only questions are about pay and vacation, it sends the wrong signal too early. Ask about the role and team first. Mistake 2. Asking something you could have found on their website. So, what does your company do? Tells them you didn't prepare. Instead, I read that you recently expanded into the German market. How has that changed the team's priorities? Mistake 3. Asking a question and then not listening to the answer. When they reply, react, nod. Say, that's really helpful, or that makes sense. A question is the start of a conversation, not a box to tick. Let's lock it in. Repeat these out loud after me. What does success look like in this role in the first 90 days? Can you tell me a bit about the team I'd be working with day to day? How would you describe the culture here in your own words? Are there any concerns you have about my profile that I could address right now? What are the next steps, and when can I expect to hear back? Pick 2 or 3 that feel natural and practice them until they roll off your tongue. When the interviewer says, "Do you have any questions for me?" you'll smile and you'll be ready. If this helped, do 2 quick things. Subscribe. I post new business English lessons every week, and download the free PDF with all these questions plus 5 bonus ones ready to print and take into your interview. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.